Hi, I'm Chris Noble in San Francisco for MarketWatch, and I'm joined today by Jim Jelter. We're here to talk about the next installment of the Power 30. And we're going to talk today about the people who stimulate our economy for us, the most influential people on that front. So who do we got, Jim? We're starting out with a fellow named Dave Camp.
Yeah. Well, Dave Camp is a Republican in the House of Representatives. He's from Michigan, and the reason that we pay so much attention to this guy is because he's the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Now, he's kind of like the gatekeeper on the road to the fiscal cliff that we keep hearing about. So he probably wields more power in Congress than just about anyone else when it comes to finding a way to basically find the revenue and cut the costs that are necessary to avoid the $600 billion automatic
the fiscal cliff, as it's called.
Well, the fiscal cliff, yeah. $600 billion worth of automatic tax hikes and spending cuts. And of course, a lot of people fear that if we don't have some kind of resolution to that by the deadline at the end of the year, we go off the cliff. So, you know, the pros for this guy is that he's a deal maker. He's known as being able to work both sides of the aisle. The cons in this whole thing, of course, is that it's been almost impossible to work both sides of the aisle for several years in Congress now, so we'll see how he does.
Right, okay, good. Next is a fellow named Dan Gilbert, who is the man behind Quicken. What else has he got? Why is he being chosen as an economic influencer?
Yeah, this guy is he's the head of Quicken Loans. He's also the CEO of a company called Rock Ventures. He's kind of like the ultimate booster for Detroit. He's putting his money where his mouth is, though, unlike a lot of boosters. He's been buying up a lot of real estate in downtown Detroit, bringing in high-tech companies, trying to, in other words, transform Detroit from a muscle economy to what we would call a brain economy. And he's been pretty influential. Of course, it's a lot easier to do this in Detroit, where property values have been so depressed for so long. But it's a model, it's an approach that a lot of other people should be watching in other cities because it could work there.
Very good. Okay, our last fellow today is someone pretty well known, Chief Justice John Roberts of the U.S. Supreme Court. Why is he on this list?
Yeah, well, you can't talk about the economy without talking about the guy who's the head of the Supreme Court, because so many decisions end up at his doorstep. He's the guy who gave us the Citizens United ruling, which basically opened the door to unlimited corporate campaign contributions. But at the same time, he's also the guy who shocked a lot of conservatives by upholding the individual mandate in the Affordable Care Act, which of course is the centerpiece of Obamacare. So, you know, he tends to cut, he's full of surprises, let's put it that way.
Now, this particular decision that we're talking about with the health care reform had to do with the Interstate Commerce Clause, which I guess is crucial in terms of stimulating the economy, generating jobs in different places. Is that part of what the influence comes from?
That is exactly what a lot of it comes from. And of course, with these surprise rulings from him, he's got a lot of people wondering, you know, how does this play out in terms of the economy? How does he define and his court define the role of government and ultimately the way the country conducts its business? So obviously you got to keep an eye on it.
Very good. In San Francisco, I'm Chris Noble with Jim Jelter.